Good morning from Ottawa. We are packing up and leaving Ottawa today, and it has been a glorious experience here. We had a full weekend of events, first at Singing Pebble, and then at the Unity Church, and then at St. Paul University, where there was a beautiful, beautiful crowd there, and a lot of healing took place, a lot of integration. I had the boys out yesterday, and we did some fun things at the Science and Technology Museum, and then we went to a huge jungle gym where they got all their energy out, so that was great. But one of the most cherished events of being here in Ottawa happened last night. We were invited by a most beautiful woman, Marcia Gifford, where we were originally supposed to stay in her cottage, and then we had an electrical hookup issue where the RV wouldn't hook up, so we ended up having to shift to a campground anyway, which was fine. But she invited us back for a dinner, their Thanksgiving dinner, and a group of just beautiful women were there, about 12 people, and just really opened their arms and welcomed us. And Tuck and I went there and had dinner and spent some time, and they were just so loving and embracing and just floored us with all of the beautiful comments and the way they're following and how the book has impacted them or how the daily diaries have impacted them. And Marcia ended up giving us this gorgeous jar of honey. She has a friend who works with bees, and she'll go out there and collect honey with the bees, and it's this beautiful, really liquid gold. And then on top of that, she actually gifted us with money for gas, and then another woman, Della, did the same thing. And it just was this space of really receiving and giving and receiving, and just this communion that took place. And it was a group of women where you could see they had their own community of support, and they really enjoyed each other's company, and they lifted each other up. And I just was so touched that they would all get together. And I was sitting down, and some of them asked me to sign the books, and I happened to flip through one, and there were so many underlined passages, and my heart just filled right up, because that's what I do when I love a book. I will dog-ear it, I will underline it, I will highlight it, I will reread it, and to see my own book being cherished in that way just kind of was this huge, huge, amazing moment for me, because I so often do what I do, and I don't take the time to sit there and think about, how people are receiving it or what's happening for them, and then taking that moment to celebrate, what I've just created, and that's something that, I'm very good at celebrating other people. I think we're often very good at doing certain things for other people. And then when it comes to doing that for ourselves, we forget, or we don't realize that we're other people too, and we should do that. So today's message is to look at what you do in the world for others, because that is who you should celebrate yourself as. You need to really take a moment and celebrate how you're presenting, how you're being, how you're sharing and giving, and how that's touching other people in ways that you may not even fathom. But it was probably one of the most cherished experiences thus far on this journey. I think many of the shows are beautiful because of all the people that we meet, but when these little things pop up where we're really intimately getting to connect with people, and we're truly seeing them, and they're truly seeing us, and it's truly a place of equality and love and unconditionality, and cherishing one another for who you're being, regardless of circumstances or status or whatever anyone has. That is the moment of oneness, and that is what I experienced. And so we are off to Montreal today, and I'm going to take the kids to the Biodome. There's 4 different climate spheres there that they're going to walk through, that we're going to walk through, and I'm interested in seeing where that is in me and what that really does to speak to me. In addition to seeing the Bug Museum, I visited the Montreal Bug Museum several years ago. I think it was probably 8 years ago. And it's one of my favorite places on earth. I absolutely love this Bug Museum, and I can't wait for my kids to see that. So we're going to go do that, and then it is back to the States this evening. We are going to go back to the States because we're going to be picking up Naomi this week, and we are so excited. Sage is staying. He has made his full commitment to stay. He is now very excited. He has been asked to do a radio show where he can interview kids around the country and meet up and do different things, and he is developing his curriculum with TLCI that is going to be the guiding educational structure, a beautiful program that he is going to be working with, and they are just amazing in how they support children to really be free and really discover what it is that it is in their hearts. And so I'm so excited for Sage to really endeavor this year upon himself for the interest of self-discovery and truly seeing what his heart wants. I think so often our children, especially the children that have to go through the experience of divorce or a marriage that maybe is not ending in divorce but has struggled, so often are trying to please one parent or the other, save one parent or the other, carry the burden of making sure everyone's okay. And I can see that in Sage very definitely. I can see how he's done that, how he so aspires to be his father, to please him and to have that love from him, and how he, wants to take care of him emotionally because he is away and we are here, and how he also, wants to be present and be with me, but yet feels very, very torn. And how also there may be many other emotions coming up for him because he is here with me as opposed to with his father, or why this whole situation took place. And we have to understand that these are all growing experiences, and that each soul did choose their circumstances and what they knew their parent souls were going to go through. But it's so nice to see him open up in this way and be willing to experience himself. And what if we could do that for all of our children and release them of their burdens of taking care of us or having to follow in our footsteps? I mean, how many of us have followed in our parents' footsteps, knowingly or unknowingly, because we were trying to please them or take care of them or save them? I know that that's part of my story. I know that definitely is my husband's story. And in this moment, in this year, this 11-12 year that Sage is in, which is so important for males, he has the opportunity to shift that for himself, but also to generationally allow that to change for 7 years before and 7 years after. And that is what so many of the children are at this time that are being born. They're here to truly shift many generational structures that have been in place. And they're strong enough to do it. They're very special children. And so I'm very excited for all that's going to happen. And I'll keep you informed so that you can share with your kids about his new radio stint, and they can follow along and experience many beautiful voices along the road that are their own age group as they develop their own community. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you, Marcia Gifford, for a beautiful evening last night. Thank you to all the women that were there, for opening your arms and your hearts, for embracing us, for allowing us to see you, to be with you, to feel you, and for making Ottawa just as extra special as it could be. Canada, you have been amazing every step of the way. Burlington, Toronto, Ottawa, you have been amazing, and we can't wait to get to Vancouver and Victoria and spread the love the way we have shared and spread it here. In love, of love, with love, and as love. I'm Simran Singh. Be well.